everybody, and welcome to the second series of the day.
10
We have got
seconds
StarLadder
remaining.
iLeague series 13, season 13 going on for you all, and we are into the
Radiant
draft.
team.
We've got Stark versus Navi, and this game is important.
Dire
Whoever
team
wins
down.
is going to be the team that moves on into the playoffs of StarLadder to see who actually gets on through. So I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. I'm Lamadana. We're going to be joined by Corrupt Drop Bear on stats, and we've got Goodnight Dota from team. You're a mercenary right now, right? Yeah, but a very high skill NE player who's going to be joining me since our co-caster, the previous one, PQ, is busy dying. He's coughing up a storm. I will hopefully not be doing that as I've been muting my microphone to cough. But either way, we have a draft on our hands, and I think the only thing that's surprising me here is the Ember Spirit ban.
Dire team pick.
I feel like the Tomba Man isn't on the team anymore.
Dire team ban.
Yeah. So, and we're going to be seeing that we've got Tusk, Dazzle picked
10
up,
seconds
obviously fantastic
remaining.
heroes, and we've seen the members of Navi play really well with those.
5
And
seconds
also we've got
remaining.
Vincere, Wyvern. So liking both of these drafts coming out
Radiant
already.
team ban. Dire team ban.
Tend to dual lane it against the Wyvern lane because basically when she freezes, like Dazzle is physical. So I don't know
10
how
seconds
successful they'll
remaining.
be if they decide to do that.
5 seconds
And it's something
remaining.
where I'm wondering whether, there's still stuff like the Undying in the pool. The Spirit Breaker is banned out, but Navi can try to run one of those really hellish lanes to go up against. Or even just go for something like the Lich. It's a bit really safe with the picks they already have, but it's something where if you've got a Lich and a Tusk in your lane, your carry is maybe not getting any farm.
Yeah, and they can totally afford to do that because as much as Darkseer has a huge presence in lane, I think often it's kind of useless to be 3 because you either catch him or you don't with 2 heroes. So like having a third person is totally unnecessary. You can totally afford to be 2 in the bottom lane.
Yeah. So either way, we're going to be seeing the Gyrocopter come out. Still a really popular hero these days, despite the
10
buffs that
seconds
happened in 6.85. I imagine he might not be touched so much in the upcoming patch, just because it does feel like he's in good place. And now Stock, they've got Vacuum into potentially Winter's Curse into cooldown, right? They've got some good stuff going on for their team fight.
Yeah, I feel Navi might want to go with a carry that's really evasive and you don't want to fight, as here comes the Queen of Pain.
Team pick.
Yeah.
Alchemist.
So, Quap. Oh, hey
Alchemist.
then. Yeah, I was gonna say Quap, obviously a really strong mid laner, but Alchemist, as long as he gets that first bounty rune, gets his bottle up, he's a pain. I mean, its acid spray is gonna be down. It can even get hard to deny him if you place the acid spray just right, because you can't get near the creep wave.
Yeah, I think right now a lot of Stark's lineup will rely on the fact that they can... People of Navi will be forced to stay where they are, so Darkseer can put enough pressure top, so they can't rotate on mid. And Gyrocopter for Wyvern will be good enough so that they don't need backup, and probably I think the last support will just stay with Alchemist mid, stacking and protecting him.
Yeah. And I think they've got heroes like Wyvern. It's something where I fully expect the whole Wyvern comes, Arctic Burns the Queen of Pain for the first wave, just to ensure Alp gets that easy level 2, and then Wyvern goes off, stacks, maybe comes back, does another Arctic Burn, stacks, goes to a lane. There's a lot of options there for Stalk to get up. A lot of money. The only downside I see here, though, is that if Doxy does end up having a hard time in whatever safe lane Navi tries to run, you have Doxy, who probably wants some of the jungle business, which Alk, of course, has dibs on already, and then Gyro, typically a hero who you expect someone to make stacks for. So it's a little greedy from Stalk.
Yeah, I think optimally you would want Winter Wyvern guarding mid, but I don't know at this point if they'll actually be forced to put it on. It seems like they're gonna go either with Dazzle StarLadder or Tusk StarLadder in the bottom lane, which are both really aggressive heroes.
Yeah, Tusk Slaughter, you can snowball in, slithering, crush, and gyro. Yeah, he'll get up a rocket barrage, but with two of you there to take it, it's not as effective, and it's a bit scary. But we'll still see
Dire
what's going to
team
be that final
ban.
pickup for both sides. Stark, of course, looking for a support, and Navi looking for that hard carry. Hence the Jug ban out. What do you think Navi should get rid of here?
I think something that would prevent them from being
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's
Reserve time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it costed that game. My only thing that would worry me there is it's so defensive arguably, because the Dazzle can just heal. But they go with the Bane, a hero with great lockdown, or a Queen of Pain. And I'm kind of surprised that Navi banned the Jakiro over the Bane, since I do feel like Jakiro's set up, you know, you need the Yules kind of before you're going to be hitting that for sure.
Alright, so it'll be interesting to see what Navi picks up right now. If
10 seconds remaining.
So, we're going to be...
5 seconds.
Also, I guess you're worried
remaining.
about Jakiro with a nice vacuum, right? You can maybe get a lot of work done there, which the Bane
Reserve
can't necessarily
time.
accomplish.
Templar Assassin.
oh no, Templar Assassin.
Yeah, and it's an interesting game for Templar Assassin here. They don't actually have a lot of lockdown, so I feel like it's something where she might be able to run a bit amok. But of course, there is a Bane here, so if she's not careful, she's gonna be in a spot of trouble. And let me just fix up the overlay really quickly, folks. But yeah, we're gonna be going in. It's gonna be a Dendi Templar Assassin, Dichira on the carry Queen of Pain. Not really what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting Queen of Pain mid because she's really good against Alchemists, but I guess now with the Bane, they figured that the Bane could actually
10 seconds
wrestle with her a
remaining.
bit mid and give her a lot of trouble, so they went with
5
TA,
seconds
which kind of limits
remaining.
Bane's ability to do anything. He has to use his sleep, which caused enormous amount of
Yeah,
mana.
100%. So we have the immediate TP coming out of the Tusk. Seneko going to be going out, flipping all these lords, and we'll see what else he can get going on out there. It's actually gonna, it's gonna be this ward. So they want to make sure that Dendi has a really easy. Oh, it's actually does that blocks Ancients or no?
Yes.
It does. It's just in the hitbox. I was worried it was a, it's a Vision ward and Ancient blocker. It's okay vision. It should see ganks coming, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, it depends. I suppose they would smoke from this side and then go like this, so I don't know how effective it'll be.
But it would stop just the potential gank coming down here. Maybe a Bane comes down, is like, hey.
I mean, they basically have to use. They know it'll be known that they're coming.
Yeah, and much to everybody's chagrin, I think a lot of people were expecting it to be a Dendi quad, but it's going to be Dendi on this Templar Assassin. Let's quickly do team introductions on the lineup of stock. We've got Boogie on that Gyrocopter, Valix on the Wyvern, Bane being played up by Okesia, Doxia on Trixie, of course, and finally Alk being played by Nempi.
And for Navi, we got Artstyle on the Dazzle, meanwhile as Trixie sort of harassing Vita Rock, who's on the Queen of Pain.
The battle.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah, they're going. The Omnivore is coming out, but Nempi is a huge heal on what they do on Danger Rock. While Nempi may fall and still, we've got the bounty there. They should be able to kill off Artstyle, these two ranged heroes, and it looks like the bounty wasn't gained by Alchemist, so his lane got really rough.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 2-for-1, but you got both bounty runes and you pick away from Alchemist, so I chalk it up to pretty even, maybe a small win for Navi, even if you lose to.
I would actually say it's a big win for Navi because being unable to have the you know, the bottle early out on Empty so that when he hits that level 2 he can just spam the acid spray. It makes laning really rough, and Dendi, you can say, taking full advantage of this. He's like, look, I will smack you with my blade. But other than mid, which we'll check back on later, they end up running the Bane Gyro bottom. How do you feel this lane is going to fare against this really scary tri-lane?
I think it's perfectly fine, because whenever you freeze a target, like, you basically take away all of Navi's damage away. So, of course, it's not going to be a problem. I think it's a lane with a big potential for turnaround.
I agree. Oh, we actually have them already in the snowball. The ice shot block and Wyvern back. Good find. And Boogie trying to do some damage on the backline, but Rocket Barrage so ineffective against 3 heroes. And you mentioned the Cold Embrace is going to make it fine, but the Wyvern has to hit level 2 before that's a factor.
Yeah. I really don't think you should have been that aggressive early on. I think the power of that tri-lane is basically counter-initiating Navi mistakes of being too aggressive, but that was the complete opposite scenario right there.
Yeah. So Balik's gonna wander back to lane, and up top we have Plop versus a Darkseer. I feel like Darkseer Trixie, he's gonna get quite a bit more out of this lane than maybe he would have expected against the Tri. At the same time, Dicho will have free farm and can start maybe harassing Trixie depending on how many points he puts up in that Shadow Strike.
Yeah. It's gonna be a pretty even lane. Both are gonna get what they want out of this. Really depends on what they'll do in the mid game with what they gain. Probably the mech on Trixie and the magic damage they need to kill the bottom lane with Hydra.
100%, and we could see some early rotations coming out of Plop. I would love to see that, you know, the minute Plop hits level 6, you just go for a kill. It's got a long cooldown, may as well use it early. At the same time, Ricky is doing a really nice... Oh, we have the guy. Dendi's gonna go down. He tried to go for the Stable Concoction, but Dendi with the DD, you're not getting away from that.
Yeah, he is another hero that's really helping on putting the pressure on Alchemist. Even if there's a pause coming out from the slaughter.
Yeah, welcome to Dota costing, where the games are paused and the action is packed. I don't know. So.
Well, maybe time to introduce Axmo, since he might be the lesser known player.
Oh yeah,
on
so
Navi.
We have a lot of stand-ins. Just to mention, I believe Navi's roster for StarLadder, the official roster, as in the one which they can't deviate from, because there are various rules in tournaments about who has to show up. Taneko, Dendi, and Dicha Ra are on the official roster. Obviously, because Artstyle has played with them before, he's tagged up, but Artstyle and Axmo, I believe, are considered stand-ins right now. So.
Right. So that's 3/5 of the old Navi roster, plus Didera and Axmo. Was actually on, I think, Big...
Yeah, there'd been a lot of Big Red Machine, also known as Walrus Punch, also known as Screen Squad.
Yeah, and before that he was on Scare.
Yeah, which just disbanded. Another reason that this game is so important here, because of the lack of scary faces. Both of these teams need this win to advance.
Alright. Then actually play games for scary faces, or is the law?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why
wrong?
he's
Okay.
no. That's what I mean. He's now standing in for Navi.
Okay.
Because
this
Scary Face is
weird.
out. I mean, there's a lot of mercenary Dota. We also saw the same thing in the Americas bracket, where because Cloud9 was knocked out, 1437 has been standing in for DC while they're figuring out their rosters.
Yeah, makes me remember of like older StarLadder, where there was this team called Super Strong Dinosaurs, which was Come With Me and I think Bone7, and then two other players from EG.
Yeah.
And they were winning and going to the playoffs, and then they disbanded. They were like something like 7-2, and they just disbanded. So everybody was like, "Why did that just happen?" And nobody really understood.
It's really common in the scene, I feel, for teams to come and go. I'm actually really surprised Stalk has been sticking together, despite they've been having a real rough time of it, it seems like, after Matumba Man left.
Yeah.
But they've been sticking together, and I like to see that in a team.
Yeah, it's fun to see. It makes you think of the old Fnatic, how long they stood together. But Yeah, finally there was good reason for why that team disbanded. It was because on that team there was Zai and PPD, and they had love to become evil geniuses.
Yeah. And yeah, they were previously playing for Scary Faces. Turns out when a team disbands, makes it easier for you to pick them up as stand-ins. Looking around, okay, so looking at these two lineups, do you have a favorite? Do you think one of these lineups is superior, or do you think there's just too much game to say?
I feel they're pretty equal. I think that's really gonna come down to a game of skill because Navi have really good aggression, but at the same time, Stark have really good counter initiate with the Wyvern vacuum combo. So it's all gonna roll down to the laning phase, I believe.
Yeah. And I feel like right now, I mean, it's a slight lead for Navi. It's nothing to write home about. Anything under like, well, 500, one kill pretty much will swing that. So it's not the biggest of deals. But what I am worried about is in this tri lane, it's going to mean that a lot of these heroes are going to not be getting levels. And since it is Navi who's getting the kills, they will end up having better levels on the Dazzle than this poor Wyvern. And Wyvern needs her level 6. I mean, there are a lot of heroes where obviously ults are fantastic, but Winter's Curse being such a powerful one, having that up is great.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not sure. They're not really stacking for now, and I'm not sure why she's staying bottom. I don't think she can do that much until she has a level 3 or 4, so maybe I think she should rotate mid and help make stacks for the Alchemist and then come back, but I don't know, maybe start believe that at their level 3 they can start killing Navi, so I won't doubt them here. Let's just see what happens and unfolds.
It does seem rough though. It's something where Gyrocopter, of course known as the specialist, he can pick off one hero, but trying to use that rocket barrage into 3 when the damage is split 3 ways, it's not that great, and it's something where even if he levels it up, it's rough. So
yeah, maybe they're banking on the outplay or something. I know Valix is not level 2 yet, so maybe they're waiting for a specific opportunity to unfold.
Oh yeah, Valix actually did he did hit level 2. He's doing the stack right now, but he hasn't skilled. So I wonder if, I mean, obviously it does feel like the Cold Embrace really strong here, because then it stops a lot of the damage output coming out of this lane, other than the Ice Shards and the Snowball, which is probably going to be used to initiate. But if he gets the Splinter Balls, they have more kill potential for themselves. So it's interesting.
Maybe he's trying to not show in the lane for a while, so that Navi believes he's gone, or he's actually helping orange mid. Maybe he's waiting for that moment, but other than that, I don't really see what's going on.
Now, speaking of the Alch mid, obviously dying to Templar Assassin, not what you want. Do you think he can still catch up? He's going to be an Alchemist playing from behind, partly because of missing that bounty, and because he's having such a hard time in lane against Dendi.
Yeah, I mean, you can always come from behind as Alchemist. I don't think that's an issue. What I think that early struggle will do is that Dendi at some point will probably start sacking Ancients. And as soon as he's done with his stack, they're going to take Roshan around like 13-14 minutes. And I don't think they will really be able to contest at all. He'll be busy catching up.
Yeah. And for folks who are just tuning in now, we're not quite sure why it's paused. Oh wow, that's a win rate. 65 professional, only 65, really? Really, his 5th most placed hero only has 65 professional games? I'm surprised. I feel like he would have more, but maybe there's some hero he's just played like 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's a lot of games though. A lot of competitive games.
I assumed, I could be wrong. I assumed Dendi would have something like 1,000 competitive games.
Yeah. Probably something like that, but I guess it varies on the patches, and like sometimes you just see a hero a lot, so it seems like you should be picked more. But overall, like TA is sort of always, now she's pretty strong in this meta, but from the past she was always this sort of pocket pick. No.
Wow, I'm really surprised he's under 1,000, but thank you. By the way, stats being done by Corruptor up there. Show him your love if you're enjoying that. So, really nice to find out. And I also have to say, as you said, Templar Assassin, especially if you don't pick enough lockdown here, against her, she can really roll over the game. And Slaughter is finally finally back, as FN reminds them that there are only 10 minutes of pause time. So, wow, that was 8 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are done with the pause. Hopefully, when people say ready, I'm hopeful that one day we'll get to cast some Dota. I was actually really excited for this set because this is my first time casting Navi.
Oh. Yeah, that's the classic. I don't think, no matter how, yes, underwhelming their performances may be, they're still going to be Navi forever.
Yeah. They are a much beloved team, and I feel like, as you said, regardless of how they're doing, everybody likes them. So.
But I hope for them to get better and be back to their status. I think that's good for the game.
Yeah, and hopefully the roster shuffles will help them out. Now, Alf returning to the mid lane, we'll be able to see whether Wyvern, and Wyvern actually hasn't skilled, probably one of those she's deciding if there's some aggression, she might just have to skill up the Cold Embrace. But this is pretty much zoning Boogie from the lane, so, I mean, there's not much farm coming out there. Top lane is a tie, I would argue. I'm not going to even say it's a one lane for Trixie, and Trixie is going in on the Boogie trying to bring some harass there. Does start the Shadow Strike, but this means Queen of Pain doesn't have Blink, but Trixie doesn't have another Surge for 4 seconds, and with Sineko TPing in over, she's not going to get the TP out of time, and Trixie, he goes down. It will free up space in bottom lane, but it's felt like a bit of an overextension.
It's definitely gonna give Theodora the advantage.
He actually pulled Embrace off Alex, but now Boogie, he's in quite a bit of trouble. I'm really surprised Alt-Style didn't go for the heal bomb there. It felt like there were a lot of creeps around, and now they use it on OK Tiger, and if he can't get off the brain sap, he's gonna fall. Oh, you really bringing it out today.
That seems like a couple very costly misplays, both top and bottom right now.
And now Sineko is being a right pain to the Alk. And MP did manage to pick up a bounty rune this time, so.
Good for him. Yeah, this is aggression top might actually allow Datara to rotate much faster to the bottom lane.
Yeah. He hits 6 very early, he gets a bottle, he's also good at clarity, so yeah, he wants to come in Sonic Wave, and I think the targeted choice is actually not going to be bottom, but an empty. I think understanding that if they can just shut down the Alchemist, they win the game pretty easily, because if that guy's behind, he makes no game impact.
Yeah. But she chooses to go back top. Interesting.
Dire's top tower is under
It's only
attack.
something where she could get a kill up there, and since, oh, she doesn't actually have a TP, I was expecting if she had a TP to go for it. Trixie is also pinging her out, so maybe that signals that they can be more aggressive on bottom. But actually, this time, he's tracking Ice Shell slightly up the mark with Boogie. He might just take advantage of the running around with the Rocket Barrage. Sineko's taking a lot of damage, and these are long cooldowns. Rocket Barrage, there is going to be a shallow break, but TP out. Boogie falls. They've got Trixie coming in. The Wyvern will get the tusk, but again, is it worth it? Oh. And actually, they get him in base. Cute.
Dire's top tower is under
I
attack.
thought that was a very nice sleep to isolate one of the Navi players, but then again, great shallow grave to turn it around.
So let's say, you know, obviously Gyre right now, Sant and Yasha, really popular. Do you think there's another way? It feels like you're up against a minus Alma strat. Can you do something about that as the Gyre, or do you have to rely on your other teammates, hoping that Alk manages to get a storm up and get something like the AC?
He sort of doesn't have a lot of natural HPs. I don't think he can afford to just go AC. I don't think like a kill.
I mean, off to his
SMR.
other items. You just have to wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you would want the Alchemist to do that preferably, but he might be forced into that, or just go for the BKB.
Yeah,
But
maybe a casual Aquila as well to help a little bit before
yeah, of course. I
the
think
SMY.
Aquila is going to be a good item here.
Oh,
for
and
sure.
we have a little bit of a rotation. Snowball is coming in. Won't embrace yet. The Ice Shot's actually off them, well, on the mark, but Optic Bone letting him get over them. So balance is going to be okay, but now they're pushed super deep onto the tower, and Axmo wants to go for this. We have a Bane hitting again immediately to Cold Embrace. The moment he sees Axmo, and they no damage that goes through that. Has the brain sap trying to do something to Axmo, but his tower is not helping him out in the slightest. Now it's going all
Radiant's
Yeah, this
bottom
is
tower
pretty
is
bad,
under
but
attack.
it's still early game. It's still about 3,000 APM, XPM. I think when you're in your aggro tri-laning in the dire side, it always looks worse. I mean, it always looks better than it really is on the graph, so they have to be wary about that, not to start making preemptive decisions as they want to try to go on A.
And as they go on in, there's going to be the polar race, but a sonic wave from downtown. They all have the Natus wave, but I don't think Alex can take advantage of this. Throws out the unstable concoction, and Navi is trying to walk away. They should be popping these tracks right now. Attack mode, attack up, using the slithering crusher with the heal bomb. Navi is a goner. And now on the backline, Trixie, he was trying to catch Dendi, but another failed TP. Snowball stopping that. Another track behind the TP. Wow. All of these rotations from stock just not quite working out.
I think they tried to be a bit aggressive in their movements in the early game. Well, they should have sort of just stood back. This Alchemist having nothing is really hurting them. I see a Sage's Mask, so maybe he's simply gonna opt to go for the Medallion because he knows he's too late for the Radiance at all.
Yeah, this is an Alc who is the 5th lowest or 5th farmer on the game. I mean, this is not where you expect your Alc to be, and I don't know how viable it is to play the Alc from behind. And by I don't know, I mean, I don't think it's viable.
Yeah, they warded up the big camp too, so they won't be able to stack for a while.
As much as Valix is trying, gonna find that out shortly. And now they're going in on the active for that nice shot. And he manages to get that off. He's turning around, healing up with that rage, and will they be able to catch on a Dendi? The ulti goes, going to take down, but I'm not sure that they have the damage, and they don't have into the detection. A shell is great on Dendi. They didn't necessarily need it in the meld strike, but I think they're gonna be A-okay. And Valix flapping away sadly. I mean, it just feels like Stock's rotations are off the mark.
Yeah, but that's why it's sort of quite curious to me is because what I see a lot of past engagements is that Stark is able to push back the aggression, the initial aggression from Navi, and then they turn around and like change their like, okay, we pushed them back into, oh, whoops, actually went into them and died.
Yeah, and it's a really weird, as you said, really weird turnaround. They stop the aggression, and instead of just calming down, continuing to farm up, they go for more. But at least Alec is finding some bounty runes somewhere and getting his mana up, despite there being traps all over the place. This is something we haven't talked about, not much touched on, and they say that Dendi is probably going to get a sword to where the Nightmare should be coming out. Dendi will have the haste for a little bit of that duration, so even with it coming up a cooldown, he's got fractions up, 6 new ones, and he just doesn't want to dive the tower, seeing the TP. Instead, he's just going to take the creep wave with him. And there are 5 heroes from Navi in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they really want to make sure
Dyer's
nobody's
tower
getting
is under
anything.
attack.
There's going to be a snowball coming in up to the leader. Is a goner too, and now it looks like OKC too many around. Here, 3 to 15, 10 minutes Navi with almost a 7,500 gold lead and approaching over 5,000 gold lead.
This is turning really ugly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, I thought
Radiant's bottom
the
tower
lineups
has
were
fallen.
because I thought originally that Stark could just
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
be around their own jungle and then defend aggression from out there, but that's not what they've been doing at all. So this is really, really puzzling. I think this is the first time Alchemist has been farming this big camp, and I don't think they have noticed that
Dyer's
before
top
there.
tower is under
Even
attack.
though
Well, they
I
just
think it's
don't
been
have
one
the
or two
resources.
times. Yeah.
They might not have the resources to deal with it right now. It's going to be a super early rush from Navi. Do you think Stock's only hope? I mean, they've got smokes up on them too. They could potentially try to go for something like
But Navi has been grouping up a lot, so I don't know if they'll be able to find somebody. I think it's really up to, like, it's Navi's team to lose. If they don't make any mistakes, I don't think there's anything that Stark can do.
Agreed. And now I think Navi, despite his bad start, he's got 3k gold up. I feel like he might be trying to go for a super late Radiance, trying to take advantage of a little bit of the space he's been able to get, but I'm not sure it's going to help out in this game. I mean, yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is
That is
under
the way to
attack.
look at it. Thank you. Alk is clearly not doing well, as you can see, folks. So, I just don't know how you come back into this for stock.
Well, Trixie's gonna hit level 11 pretty soon. I don't know if they can do something with that wall, but it's a big issue. Winter Withering still being 5. Maybe you had level 2 wall when
Yeah, Trixie very luckily on the wrong side of those ice
Dyer's
so
middle
or right
tower
for him.
is under
So
attack.
gonna end up working out Axel looking
Radiant's
around, but I
bottom
think
tower
that this
is
means
under
that the mid
attack.
tower in a lot of danger of going down.
Yeah. Well, I feel there's still like a slight chance for Stark if they manage to. Obviously, I think they're gonna at this point gonna have to fight either in their T2s or in their base, and
Radiant's
that's gonna
middle
be it.
tower is under attack.
But you know they still got the huge combos, and as much as
Radiant
bottom lane
structures
they
are
have been
fortified.
the Stars
Dyer's
still
top
didn't
tower
have
is under attack.
Blink Dagger in Shadows.
Radiant's middle tower is
They
under
got
attack.
destroyed bottom lane. It's not that much.
I
Radiant's
do agree with
middle
you. It
tower
does
has
feel like
fallen.
if they can hold the high ground, which they certainly have wombo combo to do that, they can get back into this. But Dazzle already rocking a medallion. I mean, Navi is big. Seneko almost has his mech up about 600 gold away from that. Dendi just finished his Deso, and that's when he went for an Aquila and the full treads beforehand. With, of course, that Aegis that he's rocking. Orchid, only a couple hundred gold away for the Queen of Pain. As you said, Blink Dagger already active on Axmo. And they've got 2.5 more minutes on the Aegis. They can afford to waste a little bit of time, or not waste, spend a little bit of time, maybe take the top tower, maybe take a few.
Yeah, they seem to be content for now by just taking away Alchemist as part of the jungle, but he's not really been farming that part, so as he stuns himself, I don't know what he saw there.
I think he was trying to go for Dendi, but just not able to make it work in the situation, and Dendi has more than enough vision with all of these TA traps we see all over the deck.
Yeah, Navi have really big, extensive vision right now.
Yeah, it's something we don't often get to talk about, but with a lot of the other vision nerfs coming out, you know, of course, Bounty Hunters vision got nerfed, Disruptors, Thunderstrike got nerfed as well.
They're trying to go on top.
They're gonna throw this but that I think they'll get Seneko, but the entire rest of Navi are coming, and they might not actually be able to catch him. He's moving so fast. Alchemist only has being slowed up by the sigil. He has the relic on him, and suddenly Stark realizing they need to get all the way out of this. The one who's probably gonna fall, taking a tumble, full direct to the team, and does get the outbreak out, but not a good exchange.
No, but this is the epitome of what's been happening this game. I don't feel, you know, what do you gain if you kill that Tusk? I guess you get some goal on the Alchemist, some goal on the Darcy, but they're both ahead of him in net where it seems like Alchemist has been able to farm somewhat well in the last 5 minutes.
Are fortified.
Not that much aggression on them, and then they try to do this and it just backfires on them because he's safely farming, I think.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not working out. And Gyrocopter goes down in the bottom lane, a little bit too far out, and you have to know what this is in the jungle.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So, I don't want to say it's over, but it does feel like Navi slowly but surely is strangling out Stark. 3 to 17. You know, we've got, as long as Stark doesn't get another kill, we have a chance at that perfect score that we all love so much. For Navi, I think it's a really safe game. Obviously, they have Deso. They can just make sure that they keep knocking down towers and they get the next Aegis. No, we actually have engagement happening over here. Clean grip on Axel. Can they get the kill? Axel, he's got the from above. They're also now working on Vija. Rob and have one Great. The Wyvern goes down on the side, and now Boogie, they want to walk in on him. Dendi is around, but is telling his team, it looks like, to stay back out. Trixie's coming over, and he may have some more for us, but instead they turn right around. Let's see, he's behind the wall. What's the
go on Benny with Navi and Trixie, which seemed like again really hard. Like, why would you like try? I feel like this game they just tried to kill the TA so many times and then failed.
Yeah, she's not an easy kill. I understand why they're doing it, right? They know that she's really rich right now, but TA and Co-op without that Fiend script, they're not the heroes you're gonna catch, and there are much easier ones on the map that they could maybe. I mean, it's not ideal, but smoking and getting the slaughter, smoking and getting even the dazzle of the tusk, you have to be happy with that where you are in this game.
And they were doing that as their team was struggling to fight just a little bit higher than them in like around the camps.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Moves all around.
It looks like we're going to be having another engagement potentially up top. Navi getting ready to go out that another engagement up. Go next on now. Finally gets another kill. The snowball does come out and it looks like the single gets caught using on Axel, but that would be a very deep way to dive. Going down. It's going to take a while because of the mech. And Stalk getting themselves a kill.
Yeah, that's the type of player kill they should have tried to get the whole beginning of the game, but at the same time, I feel like Star, for a while, was just been like, okay, we're so behind that we actually have to make something happen, and they didn't necessarily do.
Yeah. And it's still a big kill, but of course, unfortunately, not. Oof. Not easy. And Hostile, running a little bit that, but again, I think it is worth it, and they have got the credit because Hostile had one of those. So, well done there for the lineup of Stark, getting a few quick kills in succession. There's still probably 12,000 when this settles down, 12,000 gold, and over 10,000 experience behind.
Yeah, this feels a little bit too late.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now, we did discuss they do have good high ground defense. They have Radiance when they want it up on Alchemist. There he goes, buys the recipe. Yes, it's a very late Radiance, but at the same time, you take what you can get, and anything buy them time.
If you see that in the camp, the sentry ward is barely just out of range of the ward, so they don't see it. That's very unfortunate for Star.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to most likely not doing anything in the bottom tower. Not just the right call. There's a lot of members of Navi in the area, but OKC really wants to get on that Fiend script, but it turns out that Cindy turns around, not quite able to one-shot him. The immediate pull from Grace trying to stop him. They don't have ult when the Sonic Wave just wipes Spain off of the map. No one disclosed coming out for a while, and the rest of the heroes they would need not there. They can take the tier 2, probably not just because the respawn timers are so short right now. Take the tier 3, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that was
fortified.
a puzzling move by OKC.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
For the aggression again, trying to defend that bottom tier 2, which is probably one of the worst. The top Dire and the bottom Minion towers are the worst towers to defend.
Dendy is fine. Maybe they can send the units off them, but it's not looking like they're getting any work done being affected by that sigil, and another good team fight engagement for Navi. They're just taking all of these.
Every time somebody's a little bit too out of in front, and then he gets caught. It's been the story of the game, being out of possession from start.
Now, they do still have their tier 3 tower, and they have at least another few opportunities to try getting their wombo combos off. Maybe arguably a saving grace of the fact that Navi is so big is the fact that when you make illusions of them with your wall, they're also going to be big, the illusions, so maybe that's something.
Yeah, I think you're off to that
I'm trying
point.
to be positive here. I'm trying to be positive. you know, when you're casting, you're not meant to say that it's over. You're not meant to look at the gold graph and go, wow, the odds on you coming back for this are dropping below 5%. I believe in professional games or something, and trying to stay positive. It looks like they're trying to have Nempty maybe commit to this, see if they can use it as a bait call. They need something to help them out. They immediately nightmare him and the cold embrace, and he went with bosses as well with the radiance there. But it's gonna be Roshan time for the rest of Navi, and they're happy about that. 1.5, wow. I thought saying it was under 5% was low, but no, I was no wrong.
I think I'm completing Roshan as we speak. Makes things even worse.
I was hoping, you know, for an evil game, a bit of even game, not evil game, even game, a bit of back and forth, but it's looking really hard. We do have a smoke coming out for the lineup. Oh, and they have a good chance of going in, and then they just use that place to go for the game. That's great. Down to the close as well. They do have the first close. They can use that close. There is the celebrate coming up. And you have to go. Maybe that's what they still have the Winter's Code. So when he goes down before being able to use it, running away, and Denny, they're a fraction of knowledge. Where will they find Denny gone? But nobody's over there to deal with those. The Bane has gone down, Wyvern is down, and a huge slithering crush on all three of them. There is an acid spray on the deck, but it is not damaging anyone. She's gonna take a full rocket burst.
My blades and mind are as one.
Finally burned down. And maybe the game never, you know, maybe.
Yeah, again, good again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Or yet another occasion.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Puzzling to say the least.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If they could just Winter's Curse someone and have Denny rip them apart, they might have a chance, but they finally told GG, we'll be headed to the bit one-sided, but hopefully
Take the best of 3, so
yeah.
it's one game.
Now, with that, guys, once again, thank you all for watching. This is StarLadder I-League Series 13. We're going to be having, as I said, it's a best of 3. This is the last set of the day, but please, we had Corrupt Drop there on stats. Show him your love. That's his Twitter handle. We've got Goodnight Dota, who is joining me, co-casting. High-level NA player. You can show him some love on Twitter, too. And I'm Llama Down Under. I think all of us would love your feedback on how to get better. You can obviously find us on Twitter in those places with these names, and I'm on Facebook and Twitch as well. And with that, we're going to have a few words from the StarLadder sponsors before we get right into Game 2.